listen to that music. Oh my god, I am feeling incredibly nostalgic right now. So I have just spent so much time playing World of Warcraft Classic, and I will continue to do so, but I wanted to have another series going out, and RuneScape, like Old School Runescape in particular, is a game that I've been wanting to play for ages. So I have played a fair amount of RuneScape back in the day, you know, back when Old School RuneScape was RuneScape, like back in 2005, 6, somewhere around there. I had a character, I think it was called like GameCube 83. Why GameCube? Well, the GameCube rocked, but also 83, probably the game wanted me to have that name or something. I have no idea, but yeah, I played this game a ton back in the day. Then I didn't play it for probably about 20 years or something at this point, and now we're diving back in. So I have created an account, and I should be able to log into the server right now. So it turns out I need to go into the Jagex launcher and then launch RuneLite through there. So I am playing on RuneLite. Everyone on the internet recommends you play this way. Now, I have mentioned it before. I like going into these games kind of blind, kind of just experiencing things as I go. I don't like consuming too much guide content early on, and I won't do that here either. But RuneLite, from what I've understood, is just... it's just the base game, but it's better. You have more information available to you. You can track more things. You can see more things. And it doesn't really guide you if you don't look for it specifically. It just kind of gives you the game, but like better, more modern. So I think I will stick with it for now. But if someone tells me like, hey, you really should ditch this, I can always change that later. But for now, I think we'll just commit to RuneLite. Anyway, let's play now. I have made a character. Well, I've named the character. I haven't created the character yet. Oh, yeah, we are on the members world by default. I guess they're trying to get people to, you know, immediately swap over to a members thing, which is fine. We'll go to world 301. I don't really care about which world we're on. I think we can just like freely swap whenever we want. There are different servers. I think that these are PvP worlds. There's Deadman worlds, and there's like all kinds of things. And I kind of want to play Iron Man, because then I can't really bypass it. I can't have other people help me. But also, I'm not completely new to the game, and I don't want to impose a challenge on myself that might be way too difficult. So what I'll do is I'll probably play semi-Iron Man, where I kind of impose some level of Iron Man rules on myself, where I want to try and make sure I do a lot of things myself. But, you know, I'm not stuck in Iron Man only, so I can, if for whatever reason I want to deviate from those rules, I can deviate from those rules. Anyway, we'll be free for now, but obviously, if I do get into the game properly, I'll probably swap over to a members server later. So, let's play. That's not rambling before we even get into the game. It's kind of my style. You know, if you haven't seen me before, my style is kind of rambly. And I will have to figure out where my webcam goes, because I think I'm going to be on top of like some stats and stuff. But we'll figure that out as soon as we create our character. So, I will just create something, and I'll be back in a moment. All right, we'll go for a bit of a rugged look. You know, we've got like the rugged head, like the stuff has been torn apart. We can see the arms, because obviously, you know, the sun's out, the guns are out. You know, we got to flex those biceps and those triceps properly with the ragged pants. And yeah, I think the color doesn't really matter too much, because I think we'll be replacing this by gear fairly soon. Anyway, here we go. I guess we're into the game. So use the arrow keys on your keyboard to rotate the camera. Okay. Oh my god, this looks so ancient. It's gonna be great. So scroll off your middle mouse button to zoom in and out. Okay. So yeah, my middle mouse button is a bit weird sometimes, where like it'll like I'll be scrolling down and it'll like pop back up for like one tick, and then it'll go back down or something. It's a little bit weird. So anyway, getting started. Before you begin, have a read through the control guide in the top left of your screen. When you're ready to get started, click on the Gillinor guide. He is indicated by a flashing yellow arrow. All right, so we'll click on him. Greetings! I see you are a new arrival to the world of Gillinor. I think it's Gillinor, right? I think I pronounced that correctly. My job is to welcome all new visitors. So, welcome. Thank you. Okay, so click here to continue. It's specifically over here on the text itself, which I think is kind of good. You have already learned the first thing needed to succeed in this world, talking to other people. You will find many inhabitants of this world have useful things to say to you. By clicking on them, you can talk to them. Before we get going, if you could be so kind to let me know how much experience you have with Old School RuneScape, that would be wonderful. Go answer, simply click your chosen answer on the following screen, okay? So I am brand new. This is my first time here. I am an experienced player, or I've played in the past, but not recently. So we'll go for that, because that's actually just true. You know, I've played a ton in the past, distant past, but it's been a while. I played in the past, but not recently. Also, my name is EK with 3 E's and 2 A's, because names have been taken in this game, and I wasn't able to get anything shorter than that. So, Gillenor Guide, wonderful, thank you. Now then, let's start by looking at your settings menu, alright? So the settings menu. So the first video, by the way, just to quickly point out how these are going to be structured. The first video will be very little cuts, very like a large amount of content will be me actually talking over the game. But as we get deeper into the game, I'll cut out more content, of course, because it's the MMO, and like a lot of the grind and stuff will be cut out. But of course, like the first couple of videos probably will be fairly heavy on the non-cutting stuff, because I'm exploring things, talking to NPCs and those kind of things. So just a heads up, it's gonna get a bit quicker, so you won't have to watch, you know, hundreds and hundreds of hours of me just like grinding away. But if you enjoy that, then, well, I'm sorry. Anyway, settings. Alright, I'll probably cut out the settings part, because that just wasn't very interesting. It's not really a gameplay thing, so I'll just probably cut that out. So, the settings menu, we've kind of looked into it, just like very standard things, not something that I really care about right now. Looks like you're making good progress. I'm gonna have to get a bit used to the font, okay? The font is a little bit weird. It's not a bad font, it's just I'm not used to it. The menu you've just opened is one of many. You'll learn about the rest as you progress through the tutorial. Alright? Anyway, I'd say it's time for you to go and meet your first instructor. It's time to meet your first instructor. Go continue. All you need to do is click on the door. It's indicated by a flashing yellow arrow. Remember, you can use your arrow keys to rotate the camera. I haven't used my arrow keys in years. I kind of forgot the arrow keys were even a thing. Alright. So, I'm trying to figure out if everything is also working correctly in terms of the recording. I had to like manually like resize it to be 1920 by 1080, and I think I succeeded properly. Might be like I think the pixels are exactly like I resized constantly, and then I looked at the preview window on my OBS. But if there's an easier way to make sure this is exactly 1920 by 1080, please do let me know. So follow the path, which we did, and then we find our survival expert instructor. Hello there, newcomer. My name is Brinna. My job is to teach you all about the skills you can use to survive in this world. The first skill we're going to look at is fishing. There's some shrimp in this pond. Let's try and catch some. The survival expert gives you a small fishing net. To view the item you've been given, you'll need to open your inventory. To do so, click on the flashing backpack icon to the right-hand side of your screen. Alright? So we have a small fishing net. I wonder what changes when we select that we are brand new, because this is what I remember exactly the tutorial being back in the day, which is good. But I really wonder if I select that I'm completely new, like does it give me even more information or something? So this is your inventory. You can view all of your items here, including the nets you've just been given. Let's use it to catch some shrimp. Go start. Sorry, is it to start fishing or go start fishing? Yeah, that's a T. That's an interesting T. So to start fishing, you just click on the sparkling fishing spot indicated by the flashing arrow. All right, here we go. So these icons were not there before. I wonder if this is a RuneLite thing, or if this is actually just how it looks nowadays. Because I don't think I remember it looking like an overlay kind of thing. Okay, you managed to catch some shrimp. You've gained some experience, the best part of RuneScape, of course. Click on the flashing bar graph icon near the inventory button to see your skills menu. And here we go. These are all the skills. I guess, I think there are member skills as well. Yeah, so there's Slayer, there's Farming, there's Construction, there's Hunter. I can't remember which ones exactly were in the base game as well when I played. I think Slayer was there, but I think Farming, Construction, and Hunter were not there. Probably. So on this menu, you can view your skills. Your skills can be leveled up by earning experience, which is gained by performing various activities. As you level up your skills, you will earn new unlocks. Speak to the survival expert to continue. Alright. Also, guys, I'll have to figure out how I do thumbnails for this, because my thumbnails for WoW were like in-game screenshots, but I don't think I can really take in-game screenshots here and have them look good. So I'll have to figure out how I do that. Anyway, let's talk to the survival expert. I have managed to catch some shrimp. Excellent work. Now that you have some shrimp, you're going to want to cook them. To do that, you'll need fire. This brings us to the woodcutting and firemaking skills. I think the tutorialization in this game is rather good, by the way, because it's teaching you the process of doing something by actually doing the thing. Like, it's giving you a very small explanation, but then it's having you do the thing immediately, and you're it's verifying whether you're successfully doing the thing. Like, you know, you're catching the fish, then you were like, well, okay, now I have the fish. What do I do now? Well, you're gonna have to cut down a tree. You're gonna have to ignite the wood to make a fire, and then you're gonna have to use the fire to cook, and then you're gonna have to eat it. Now, I do wonder if we can fail the cooking, because I think that is a possibility in this game. So, the survival expert gives you a bronze axe and a tinderbox. Also, I think the items we're getting are highlighted in blue, but it's a different tint to the click it to continue thing, which is nice. Kind of wish I could like hover it or something so I could see what it was, but obviously it's a bit of an older game, and that is not a thing here. It's time to cook your shrimp. However, you require a fire to do that, which means you need some logs. You can cut down trees using your woodcutting skill. All you need is an axe. Give it a go by clicking on one of the trees in the area. So, good thing is I apparently don't need to have it in my hand. I just need to have it in my inventory. So I just click on the tree. Please wait. Your character is now attempting to cut down the tree. Sit back for a moment while he does all the hard work, which I like to see because that means I can take a quick sip of a drink. And we did indeed manage to cut some logs. Now that you have some logs, it's time to light a fire. First, click on the tinderbox in your inventory. Then, with the tinderbox highlighted, click on the logs to use the tinderbox on them. So, click on the Hold on. So, first click on the tinderbox, okay? And then click on the tinderbox. Then with the tinderbox highlighted, click on the logs, okay? So that we combine the items, kind of, okay? It also says it's tracking my fire making up here. I think that is RuneLight doing the tracking. So we've got 40 experience so far. Next level in 83, remaining 43. Okay. Now it's time to get cooking. To do so, click on the shrimp in your inventory. Then with the shrimp highlighted, click on a fire to cook them. If you look at the top left of your screen, you'll see the instructions that you're giving to your character. Top left of my screen. Okay, so we click on this. Click on this. Top left. Top left where? You managed to cook some shrimps. Okay, so we do succeed first time. Nice. Well done, you've just cooked your first meal. Speak to the survival expert if you want a recap, otherwise you can move on. Click on the gate shown and follow the path. Remember, you can use your arrow keys to rotate the camera. Yes, so I actually don't really need a keyboard. I think this game is like almost exclusively played with mouse, right? So I can kind of just have my left hand on the keyboard and the right hand on the mouse. Now, the important thing here, the thing that I'm trying to figure out right now is whether I can remember what is going on. And I think next up, we're heading towards like a cooking section. So follow the path until you get to the door with the yellow arrow above it. Click on the door to open it. Remember that you can also move around by clicking on the menu up in the top right. Actually, I kind of forgot about that, but that is quite nice. One thing that I find much more satisfying than back in the days, I remember playing this game, and I remember the internet speed wasn't as high as it is now. You know, I have a gigabit connection. It's just really fast. I can download like games in like a couple of minutes. Like everything is just so much faster. Most of you probably have fairly similar connections to what I have right now, but it's so much better. Because I remember back in the day that I would click right here, and it would be like a proper like 2-second delay or something before the input was actually registered. Because obviously, you know, it has to communicate with the server, it has to then process the thing, it has to send the feedback to me, and then the animation starts playing, which nowadays sounds like it's a very quick thing. But back in the day, you know, when I think we were talking about like just past. I think we didn't have dial-up connections anymore, but it definitely wasn't fast internet. So having the input being like near instant now is much better. Now there is still a bit of a delay, but I think that's literally just the way the game is coded. Like that's not internet, that's just the way the game is coded, which is fine because the delay is small enough where I don't really care. Plus it's not very fast-paced gameplay. So talk to the chef indicated. He will teach you the more advanced aspects of cooking, such as combining ingredients. All right, let's talk to the cook, the master chef. Ah, welcome, newcomer. I am the master chef, Lev. It is here that I will teach you how to cook food truly fit for a king. I already know how to cook. Brianna taught me just now. You call that cooking? Some shrimp on an open log fire? Oh, no. I am going to teach you the fine art of cooking bread. Get the master chef. Sorry, the master chef gives you some flour and some water. This is the base for many meals. Go make dough. You must. Sorry, I keep seeing this as a G, but it's a T. To make dough, you must mix flour with water. To do so, click on the flour in your inventory. Then, with the flour highlighted, click on the water to combine them into dough. All right. So it says, and I'll be very methodical about this. Click on the flour in your inventory, which is this pot. Then with flour highlighted, click on the water. So we combine them, and now we make some dough. Now you have made the dough, you can bake it into some bread. To do so, just click on the indicated range. Wait, click on the indicated range. That's a bit of a weird... What are they saying? Like, and I know it's... Oh wait, cook... It's a range, an item. Is this something... Have I never heard of this thing? Alright, anyway. Also, guys, there is like a mod kind of thing called RuneScape, like some number HD or something. And it will obviously make my game probably look a lot prettier. Is that something I should be using? Is it just the same game but better? Or is it one of those situations where it changes the entire game, makes it look horrible, and, you know, people are like, oh, but I want the old graphics. I guess I can probably install it and then remove it if it's bad. But I would kind of like to hear your input as well, you know, from any veteran RuneScape players. You know, do let me know if it like takes away the charm and stuff, because obviously a lot of people will be playing this game and they will be like, hey, I'm very nostalgic about this game and I want to experience it as it was back in the day, which is obviously the intention when you have stuff like OSRS or you know, WoW Classic and those kind of games. So oftentimes modernizing things, while it's technically better, the nostalgia factor will be worsened, which will make it less engaging overall. Anyway, now you've made the dough, so we click on this thing. Please wait, your character is attempting to bake bread. This will only take a few seconds, and we managed to bake some bread. Well done, you've baked your first loaf of bread. As you gain experience in cooking, you will be able to make other things like pies and cakes. You can now use the next door to move on. If you need a recap on anything, talk to the master chef, which we do not need. Also, I like how down here there's a number saying how long we have been logged in, I'm assuming. And we are going for 18 minutes, which also kind of helps me out because it lets me know how long I've been recording for. Especially when there's like very small amounts of cuts. It really tells me how much I've been playing. So, fancy a run. When navigating the world, you can either run or walk. Running is faster, but you can't run for as long as you'll run out of energy. You can use the flashing orb next to the minimap to toggle running. Why not try it as you head to the next section? I actually kind of forgot about the running thing. So, it says weight 7 kilograms and runtime remaining 131. Does that mean that depending on the weight in my inventory and potentially even the weight of my equipped items, I will be able to run less time? Because I'll be heavier? I'm assuming that's what it means, right? And I'll do a calculation based on my current weight. And I'm assuming I could probably... Wait, this is walking. And this is running. Alright, so follow the path. Actually, let me click on the map, you know. Let me actually properly start using the map. I do feel like the game looks a little bit small. As in, like, the actual playable space, like this part over here, is a rather small part of the actual game. I can probably fine-tune it in some ways. Guys, if you have any mods or anything like you think I should really install, as I've said, you know, I don't really want to have the game be played for me. I don't want to have the game be trivialized. I don't want to have quest helpers and those kind of things, at least not early on. Same way I approached World of Warcraft. I want to keep things vanilla. But if there are quality of life things, graphical enhancements, things where you think they just simply enhance my gameplay without taking anything away. Wow, that was a cut right there, and I just had like the most random like cough just like come up and like completely destroyed me. There was like a minute break there where I was just coughing all over the place, and I don't know why. I've sort of recovered now. I think Old School Runescape is making me old or something. It's time to learn about quests. Just talk to the quest guide to get started. So one reason why I have been wanting to play this game is because I keep hearing that RuneScape has the best quests ever. Like, people keep saying that, you know, RuneScape quests are like well designed, they're engaging, they're like whole like standalone stories almost, and they are just overall incredibly well designed. Now, I don't know if they're talking about RuneScape 3 questing or if they're talking about Old School RuneScape questing, but back in the day, you know, I was one of those people, you know, I think most people are like this when they're kids, and a lot of people are still like this. I was one of those people, I was just kind of spamming through the dialogue. I was skilling, I was like smithing and mining was my jam, you know, like I spent all this time running back and forth to Varrock, I think it was called. Like there was like a mine, and like I was mining and then bringing those things and then smithing them into ores and then crafting, you know, like my mithril and my adamantium and whatever the things were called. But I've never really paid much attention to the actual lore, to the actual stories. And I've heard that while RuneScape doesn't have, at least Old School RuneScape doesn't really have an overarching story that's like, you know, ever present and really pushing you in a certain direction. Every single quest, from what I understand, has been crafted fairly well. It's like a very cool self-contained story. Some of them might be connected to other stories, but they're all like kind of standalone. And I'm really curious to see how I can experience this and whether they're actually as good as they are. And I have just grown very fond of really immersing myself in a game on these series, you know, like properly reading all the quests. It's just, it's super, super fun to me. And I thought to myself, well, what kind of game can I play that really embraces that whole aspect? And yeah, so far, you know, RuneScape is the game that kind of came to my mind. I might lose my mind here playing RuneScape because it's going to be a very long experience. But yeah, let's talk to the quest guide. Welcome, adventurer. I'm here to tell you all about quests. Let's start by opening your quest list. Yeah, so I've never really engaged with this too much. I probably did some quests back in the day, but I really didn't do too many. This is your quest journal. It lists every quest in the game. Talk to the quest guide again for an explanation of how it works. So I remember, by the way, when I started playing, membership, I think cost like €5 a month, like €5, €5.50, something in that general area. I have no idea how expensive it is. I mean, obviously, I'm still playing WoW Classic, so I'm still like making content for that. And I'm paying a subscription for that as well. And I'm really curious to see how expensive it is. Because obviously, like in my mind, it's still like €5, but it's probably going to be like 13 or something because, you know, inflation has happened for like 20 years. And there's no way it's still €5. So I'm curious to see when I eventually get to the part where I want to upgrade how much it is. Also, quick question. Is there any downside to not being a member when I'm still exploring the non-member content? Like, am I actively losing something by playing the non-member content as a non-member? Or is it totally fine that I just play the non-member stuff and then upgrade to member stuff when I want to access the member content specifically so that I, you know, don't feel like I'm losing out on something massive? I'm kind of curious, so please do let me know. So let's talk to the quest guide again. Now that you have the quest list open, you can see all the quests within it. Clicking one of these quests will display some information on it. If you haven't started the quest, it will tell you where to begin and what requirements you need. If the quest is in progress, it will remind you what to do next. That's a good system. It's very easy to find quest start points. Just look for the quest icon on your minimap. You should see one marking this house. Alright, so the little starburst kind of thing, the little compass thing, I guess that is the quest icon, which is also the quest list icon, so that makes perfect sense. There's water over there, like a water station. I guess that's for making bread, like refilling the bucket or something. And there's an exclamation mark over here, which is that a current quest? I don't know. The minimap is in the top right corner of the screen. It has various icons to show different points of interest. Look for the icon to the left to find quest start points, this icon over here. The quests themselves can vary greatly, from collecting beads to hunting down dragons. Completing quests will reward you with all sorts of things such as new areas and better weapons. There's not a lot more I can tell you about questing. You have to experience the thrill of it yourself to fully understand. Let me know if you want a recap, otherwise you can move on. Alright, let's move on. It's time to enter some caves. Click on the ladder to go down to the next area. I think combat is upon us. And of course, combat is beautiful in this game. So, mining and smithing. Next, let's get you a weapon. Or, more to the point, you can make your first weapon yourself. Don't panic, the mining instructor will help you. Talk to him and he'll tell you all about it. So far, I think the introduction has been really, really good. The way in which we have to make food for ourselves with all the steps properly laid out, like step by step by step. And then also right now, you know, we have to go mine, we have to go smith, make our weapon, and then use the weapon to fight. The one thing that I feel like kinda isn't the greatest is the way the quest stuff is done. I think it would have been good if we had picked up a quest here or something, because then we could have engaged with the system. Like, we wouldn't have just read about the system, we would have actually properly engaged with the system. But I can click, for example, on Cook's Assistant, which I think is like one of the first quests most people do. I remember the name. And I like how it says, I can start this quest by talking to the cook in Lumbridge Castle, show on map. Can I actually do that already? I can. Oh, wait, this map is different than I remember. So can I see which areas are member areas and which ones are not member areas? Ah, Caridian Desert. Oh yeah, I remember all this stuff, like the funky music over there. Oh, where's that island? Ah, Karamya. Oh, I remember going there and I think there was like a lobster farm, right? Like, you used to go to, like, the edge over here somewhere, and you would lobster farm, and then you would sell those lobsters to people. Oh, my God, the world, wait, don't remember the world being this big. I'm assuming the world is, like, much, much bigger nowadays, because from what I understand, the way this game updates is it still updates, but it just has a very, like, active polling system where it asks whether players want it, and only if the massive majority wants to update it, it gets updated. Which I think is a good system for these kind of games. Because you don't want to ruin the game by, like, reintroducing the RuneScape 3 things into it, because there's a reason why they've kind of, like, gone different ways. Hi there, you must be new around here. So what do I call you? Newcomer seems so impersonal, and if we're going to be working together, I'd rather call you by your name. You can call me EK. Yeah, that's how you spell it now, apparently. Okay then, EK, my name is Desik, and I'm a miner by trade. Let's teach you how to mine. Mining is very simple. All you need is a pickaxe. The rocks around here contain tin and copper. Why don't you get started by mining some? Ooh, cool little side story. So, I remember back in the day, you know, when I was still playing RuneScape, and I was at my grandparents', and we were watching this show on TV. I think it was called Lotto Weekend Millionaires, I think the name was. And, you know, you have these questions and people have to answer them. And, like, you know, obviously if you don't answer them correctly, then, you know, you drop out. But if you answer them correctly, like, you move up and up and up and up and up and make more money. And I remember there was a question at some point where it was like, hey, what ingredients are used in the creation process of copper? And nobody knew. And I was just sitting there and I was just like, oh, sorry, not copper, bronze. I think it's bronze, right? So everyone was just sitting there like, I have no idea. And, you know, I'm like this 10-year-old kid or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, it's tin and copper. And they're all looking at me like, what? How do you know? And I'm like, I play RuneScape. That's how I know. And I think tin and copper, I think that's what makes it like it says here, and I think the first tier is bronze, right? And I might be misremembering, but back then I knew very clearly that tin and copper made bronze. And yeah, I still remember that to this day because, you know, it gave me so many points, you know. Well, not really actually points, but it made me feel good. It made me feel really good. So the mining instructor gives you a bronze pickaxe, guys. You have seen nobody take this long to get through the entire starting area. I'm gonna have like an hour video of just me going through here, and you'll enjoy it. Okay, there we go. It's more like a stream at this point, guys. It's much less a playthrough. It's more like a stream. So go mine a rock. All you need to do is click on it. First up, try mining some tin. All right, here we go. So, do we contest rocks with other people? Wait, there's so many people here. Are these? There's actually multiple people here. Okay. You managed to mine some tin. All right, now that you have some tin ore, you need some copper. Go mine a rock. All you need to do is click on it. So there is these, the copper rocks. Doesn't matter which one I click, like it says that one, but I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Alright, we get some copper as well. Smelting. You now have some tin ore and some copper ore. You can smelt these into a bronze bar. To do so, just click on the indicated furnace. Right click the furnace. You smelt the copper and tin together. So how does the game know what I want to put together? Like, if I had multiple different things in my inventory, will I get a selection screen? Or is it just pick like the first ones that appear in my inventory or something? So we've made a bronze bar. We speak to the mining instructor again, and he will show us how to make it into a weapon. I have a bronze bar. What now? And now that you've got a bar, you can smith it into a weapon. Go smith something. You need a hammer and an anvil. Sorry, to smith something. Once again, the G is just, it's messing me up. It's a T. There are some anvils just here that you can use. See if you can make a bronze dagger. Alright, we get a hammer. To smith, you'll need a hammer and enough metal bars to make the desired item, as well as a handy anvil. Go start the process, click on the anvil, or alternatively, use the bar on it. Alright, so we can click all. What is this? Quantity, all. Alright, so we have a lot of different things we can make. They're all bronze things right now. So technically, I guess I could start making all of these things. Oh, you cannot make this on Tutorial Island. Okay. Okay, cool. So it says we need to make a dagger. I want to make the other things as well, but I guess I'll make a dagger. Congratulations, you made your first weapon. Now it's time to move on. Go through the gauge shown by the arrow. Remember, you may need to move the camera to see your surroundings. Speak to the mining instructor for a recap at any time. Alright, but I will equip. You'll be told how to equip items later. But I'm doing the thing! I'm doing the thing! I'm equipping the item. I mean, so far it's pays rather well. I think it's a good tutorial. So, combat. In this area, you will find out about melee and ranged combat. Speak to the guide and he will tell you all about it. Alright, hello Mr. Combat Instructor. Hi, my name is EK. Do I look like I care? To me, you're just another newcomer who thinks they're ready to fight. I am Vanaga, the greatest swordsman alive, and I'm here to teach you the basics of combat. Let's get started by teaching you how to wield a weapon. You now have access to a new interface. Click on the flashing icon of a man, the one to the right of your backpack icon. Here you go. This is your worn inventory. Here you can see what items you have equipped. In the bottom left corner, you will notice a flashing button with a shield and helmet on it. This button lets you view more details on what you have equipped. Click it now. Ah, all the bonuses. Was this there in the past? I don't remember this being there in the past. You can see what items you are wearing in the worn inventory to the left of the screen, with their combined statistics on the right. Let's add something. Click your dagger to equip it. There we go. We get some stab. Increases your chance of hitting successfully when you attack. You are now holding your dagger. Clothes, armor, weapons, and more are equipped like this. You can unequip items by clicking on them in the worn inventory. Speak to the combat instructor to continue. Alright, so we close this off. Very good, but the little butter knife isn't going to protect you much. Let's get you something a bit better. Once you've properly equipped, we can move on to some actual combat. The combat instructor gives you a bronze sword and a wooden shield. So can I also compare how they do... So go unequip it, so not go, to unequip an item, go to your worn inventory and click on the item. Alternative... I like how it's called the worn inventory. Like, to me, that's just the equipment panel, you know? And click on the item. Alternatively, equipping a new item into the same slot will unequip the old one. Try this out now by swapping your dagger for the sword and shield that the combat instructor gave you. Okay, here we go. So sword and shield. There we go. Click on the flashing crossed swords icon to open the combat interface. This is your combat interface. From here, you can select the attack style that you would like to use in combat. Using different attack styles will give different types of experience. As well as this, monsters are weak to specific attack styles. Click on the gates to continue. So I don't think I ever really knew how this worked. I kind of just like picked something, I think. There's also auto retaliate. When active, your character will automatically fight back if attacked. So I guess that's for like, if you're like semi-AFK or something and something wild attacks you, then you can survive. Hopefully. So, let's see. We click on, we open the gate, we walk through. It's time to slay some rats. Go attack a rat. To attack a rat, all you have to do is click on it. This will cause you to walk over and start hitting it. I'm gonna mistake this T for a G for like at least the next 5 videos, guys. So I'm really sorry. So sit back and watch. I like how you see the HP bar in the bottom left corner. Oh, sorry, upper left corner. I'm not sure if that's rune light or if that's in the game now by default, but that is kind of cool. Well done, you've made your first kill. Pass through the gate and talk to the combat instructor. He will give you your next task. Can we open up the gate again? Wait, I want to take the bones. Hold on, I want to take the bones. I think I need those for prayer at some point. No, oh, no, go, open the gate. Do it now. There we go. These bones are mine. There we go. All right, we passed through. Let's go back to the combat instructor. Bit of a chat. I did it, I killed a giant rat. I saw, you seem better at this than I thought. Now you have grasped basic swordplay, let's move on. Next up, we have ranged combat. With this, you can kill foes from a distance. With ranged, you'll be able to attack the rats without entering the pit, meaning they won't be able to fight back. The combat instructor gives you a short bow and some bronze arrows. Alright, so we equip the short bow, I guess. You now have a bone... you have a bone? Well, I mean, to be fair, that's true, I have bones. You have a bow and some arrows. Before you can use them, you'll need to equip them. Once equipped with the ranging gear, try killing another rat. You don't need to enter the pen this time. Go attack the rat. Just click on it. Guys, I'm gonna keep messing this up. I'm sorry, but it's... That's a G. Okay, that's a G. So, short bow, bronze arrows. I can see the arrows in the upper left corner of the screen as well, so I can keep track of how many I have. That's kind of nice. So we click on a giant rat, and we start pew-pewing it. There we go. Beautiful. And now it's just moving on. So we have to click on the indicated ladder. Let me re-equip my sword and shield. It's like a lot of like weapon swapping in this game as well. You know, where you like actively swap between like ranged, like you open up with ranged, and then in the middle of combat you swap over to melee, stuff like that. So, banking. Follow the path and you will come to the front of the building. This is the Bank of Gillinor, where you can store all your most valued items. To open your bank, just click on the indicated booth. So, whoa, no, go here, into the building. Yes, thank you very much. And this is the bank. This is your bank. You can store things here for safekeeping. To deposit something from your inventory, just click on it. You can withdraw things in the same way. To continue, please close the bank and click on the indicated poll booth. Well, we have 25 coins in there. I think this is the only game I've ever seen where you go to a bank the first time and there's actually something in there. I mean, I think that's kind of cool, really. I don't think I really want anything in there right now, so we'll just close this thing off and then we go over to the poll booth. This is new, I'm pretty sure. I think this is to do with the update system. Poll booths are found in towns across the world. The Old School Runescape community is invited to vote on future game updates to decide whether each update should or shouldn't be released. Voting is open to members with a skill total of 300. To preserve the old school character of this game, an update must gain 70% support to be released. Yeah, that's a pretty cool system, I think. A flag appears on the booth to let you know when you're invited to vote in a poll. I'm kind of hoping that I can see the poll. Even if I can't vote yet, I'm hoping I can actually see the poll. Polls are run periodically to let the Old School Runescape community vote on how the game should or shouldn't change. When you're ready, move through the door indicated. So, voting requires 300 levels, membership, and 25 hours of playtime. That's good. I think there needs to be some level of experience in the game before you can properly judge whether something is an addition to the game or not. For the first time in half a decade, we held a summit live at RuneFest. This poll is your opportunity to give us the green light on a couple of exciting reveals that we've been waiting eagerly to share with you. Have your say on a brand new Grandmaster quest capping off one of the old school's most iconic storylines, along with a brand new duo-focused endgame boss encounter. See, I had heard that RuneFest was going on. I have, for the past like year, 2 years, I've grown quite fond of Josh Strive Hayes' content. I think he does a very good job in well, pretty much anything he does. And it was quite fun seeing him there. So that's also kind of what pushed me into this. I had been pending to do this, but you know, watching like a bit of the RuneFest content, I'm like, dude, this guy's all like everyone around RuneScape, like everything just, it sounds so passionate, okay? Like RuneScape fans, RuneScape developers, RuneScape players, everyone. And I'm probably wrong here. There will be negativity on the Reddit and stuff, but to me, everything about this game is just always positivity, it's charm, it's enthusiasm, it's creativity. It's just, it sounds good and I want to be a part of it, okay? So the questions right now is, should we add Yama, a new duo-focused endgame boss, to the game? Rewards will be locked in via a separate poll at a later date. So I can't vote, but it's cool to see what these votes are. Question 2, should the Blood Moon Rises, a Grandmaster quest acting as the finale to the Mireke saga, be added to the game? And if the Blood Moon Rises is added to the game, should we allow you to return to the land of Vampirium after the quest? Dude, this is so cool, because from my limited understanding, okay, I think there was, like, RuneFest. I think it's just focused on RuneScape. I think it's just focused on OSRS and on RuneScape 3. And it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because imagine you're a developer, you have spent a ton of time making like a presentation, making the content, making everything, and you are now presenting at RuneFest. You know, you got like this big screen behind you, like, guys, this is the new thing. Look at this trailer, and look at this content, like this new skill and this new quest, and like all these new rewards. Look at all this cool stuff. Do you want it? Like, and it's really cool, because you kind of like, it's not just like, hey, this is what we're launching, have fun. If you don't like it, whatever, it's, you know, it's out. It's kind of like, hey guys, this is what we want to do, and we have to now try and actively sell you whether you want this. And only if we do a good enough job on selling you the content, only then will it be added into the game, because it needs to get like a 70% of voting system. Like, it needs to pass that threshold. And I think that's so cool. And obviously it sucks, you know, when it's a like when a developer spends a lot of time on something and then it doesn't make it into the game. But I guess at that point, you know, if it's like a close thing, you can ask for feedback, you can change it, you can reiterate on it, and then you can re-vote on it maybe like next year or something. So I think overall it's a good system, and obviously I haven't been able to experience this properly. I don't know how this works, I don't know how this functions in practice, but in theory I love this system, and yeah, maybe I'll become a part of it someday, you know? Yeah, you can see how many votes there are. Like, it redirects you to a blog with probably much more information about this, but yeah, this is cool. Anyway, very long rant over. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna spend an hour in the tutorial. Yes, that's true. So, next door. We're almost through, guys. Don't worry. We're almost through. I will make it, okay? Hello, who are you? I am the account guide. I'm here to tell you about your account. What's an account? Your character is your account. It's what you are using to play the game right now. Everyone here has one, and some people even have multiple. There's various things you can do with your account, which is where the account management menu comes into play. Let's take a look at it now. Click on the flashing icon to open your inventory management menu, okay? Ah, it's gonna try and get me to become a member, isn't it? Also, I'm trying to figure out whether the camera's in the correct place. I think it's fine, really. Like, you can't really see the member stuff like down here, but most of the skills you can see. I can make it like a little bit smaller, I guess. I don't know. I would like your feedback on it, guys. If you think my face is too big right now, like, just let me know, okay? But yeah, this is your account management menu where you can control various aspects of your account. Talk to the account guide to learn more. So membership, upgrade now. Kind of want to see if I click this thing. Oh, it's going to bring me to a different page. You guys won't be able to see this, but I just want to quickly see what the price is like. It's trying to get me to verify whether I'm a robot or not, which I'm not. And okay, so it's $12.49, so like my 13 euros was very close, but if you buy it with a bigger batch, you get 16% off for 6 months and 40% off for 12 months. So if I really get into it, I'll probably just, like, you know, spend 90 euros and buy the 12-month Premier. What is even the Premier membership? Is it even better than membership? I don't know. I'll look into this later. You guys can't see what I'm talking about, so we'll go back to the account guide. As you can see, there's a few things you can do with your account. First, you have membership. All accounts are free to play by default, but if you desire, you can buy memberships to unlock members' worlds. These worlds give you access to extra skills, quests, areas, and more. What's a world? A world is what you play the game on. Most worlds can hold up to 2,000 players. They are split into two main types, free worlds and members' worlds. You can swap worlds with the world switcher in the logout menu. You are currently on a free world. If you want to switch to a members world and enjoy all the benefits, you'll need to purchase membership. You can do so using the store in the account management menu. Bonds are another thing that you should know about. You can purchase bonds from the store in the account management menu. Once you have some bonds, you can redeem them for membership. But how does that work? But why would I use a bond instead of just buying membership normally? Unlike memberships, bonds can be traded with other players. You could purchase a bond and then sell it to another player for some gold. No, I don't like that. I don't like that, guys. If gold is a very big part of this game, which I don't know if it is, but if it is a big part of this game, and you can bypass it by purchasing bonds and then sell them to other players for gold, like, doesn't that create some sort of pay-to-win environment? I don't know if I don't know how big of a deal it is, but I don't like it in theory. So alternatively, you could use your gold to buy a bond from another player, which is kind of interesting to me because obviously I could save money that way, but they're probably very expensive for a new player like me. So if I used my gold to buy a bond from another player, I could get membership without spending any real money? Exactly. Next up, you have your inbox and name changer. The inbox is where you'll receive important information related to your account and game. Be sure to keep an eye on it. The name changer allows you to change your display name if you don't like your current one. Be aware though that this is only available to accounts with membership. Awesome. Is there anything else I should know about accounts? Your account is very valuable and it's important you look after it. Various tools can help with this, such as a bank what does it even say? Bank something. And two-factor authentication options. You'll find more information on account security on the customer support webpage, and you can blah, 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 blah. This is like out-of-game stuff, not really interesting to you guys. Anyway, that's everything I have to tell you about accounts. Let me know if you need a recap. Otherwise, head on to the next instructor. Alright. As you can see, the bar at the bottom of the screen, we are getting somewhere, okay? I promise you, before this video is over, we will have made our way to the end of the tutorial. I think this is mage stuff, right? Like prayer and mage stuff. Follow the path to the chapel and enter it. Once inside, talk to the monk. He'll tell you all about prayer skills. Good day, brother. Hello, I am Brother Brace. I'm here to tell you about prayer. So, I remember leveling this, but it always felt like a bit of a weird system. Talk with Brother Brace and he'll tell you about prayers. This is your prayer list. Prayers can help a lot in combat. Click on the prayer you wish to use to activate it and click it again to deactivate it. Active prayers will drain your prayer points, which you can recharge by finding an altar or other holy spot and praying there. As you noticed, most enemies will drop bones when defeated. Burying bones by clicking on them in your inventory will gain you prayer experience. I'm also the community manager officer around here, so it's my job to tell you about your friends and ignore lists. Alright, we got a friends list. These two lists can be very helpful for keeping track of your friends or for blocking people you don't like. You can swap between the two lists using the button and the top right corner of the menu. So like here. Ignore us and friends, okay? Speak with Brother Brace to learn more. Right, now I'll tell you a little bit about each list. You can add people to either list by clicking the add button, then typing their name into the box that appears. You remove people from the list in the same way. If you add someone to your ignore list, they will not be able to talk to you or send you any form of message to you. Your friends list shows the online status of your friends. Friends in red are offline, friends in green are online and on the same world, and friends in yellow are online but on a different world. Okay, thanks, I'll bear that in mind. You're almost finished on Tutorial Island. Pass through the door to find the path leading to your final instructor. Alright, let's go to the door. Let's go through the door. Let's go learn how to become a mage, I think. Follow the path to the wizard's house, where you'll be shown how to cast spells. When you get there, just talk with the magic instructor. Right, follow the path. We can follow the path. It's over here. Alright. Wait, there's an Iron Man tutor. Hello, EK. I am Paul, the Iron Man tutor. What can I do for you? Tell me about Iron Man. When you play as an Iron Man, you do everything for yourself. You don't trade with other players or take their items or accept their help. As an Iron Man, you choose to have these restrictions imposed on you so everyone knows you're doing it properly. If you think you have what it takes, you can choose to become a hardcore Iron Man. In addition to the standard restrictions, hardcore Iron Men only have one life. In the event of a dangerous death, your hardcore Iron Man status will be downgraded to that of a standard Iron Man, and your stats will be frozen on the hardcore Iron Man high scores. If you have some friends, you could stand alone. Wait, if you have some friends, you could stand alone. What? Together as Group Iron Man. Group Iron Men have the same restrictions as regular Iron Man, except you can trade your items with each other. That's kind of a cool system, really. Like, you can kind of create like a group. I love that. If you are a daring bunch, you could even try Hardcore Group Iron Man. With Hardcore Group Iron Man, you have a set number of lives. When they reach 0, you become regular Group Iron Man. So does that mean that you have shared lives or among all of you? So like if one person dies like a certain amount of times, like all your lives are burned? If you ever decide to invite experienced players to your group, you will become unranked Group Iron Man, which are no longer shown on the Group Iron Man high scores. For the Ultimate Challenge, you can choose to become an Ultimate Iron Man, a game mode inspired by the player Iron No Bank. That's kind of cool, like, they're actually referencing a player here. In addition to the standard restrictions, Ultimate Iron Man are blocked from using the bank and they drop all their items when they die. While you're on Tutorial Island, you can switch freely between being a standard Iron Man, an Ultimate Iron Man, a hardcore Iron Man, a Group Iron Man, a hardcore Group Iron Man, or a regular character. Click here. Oh wait, I don't know why I read that last part. Once you've left this island, you'll be able to find my colleague Adam in Lumbridge, but he'll only let you switch your restrictions downwards, not upwards. So, he will let Hardcore Iron Man or Ultimate Iron Man downgrade to Standard Iron Man, and he'll let also the types of Iron Man become regular characters. And if I say I'd like to change mine, yeah, I can choose what I want to do. Now, I think for this playthrough, guys, as much as it sounds very interesting to do Iron Man, I like I said, I'm gonna do like semi-self-imposed Iron Man, I think, where it's not really Iron Man, where I will be able to trade and stuff, but I'll try and do a lot of things myself if I find it's accessible to me. All right, talk with the magic instructor. Here we go. Hello. Good day, newcomer. My name is Garova. I'm here to tell you about magic. Let's start by opening your magic interface. This is your magic interface. All of your spells can be found here. The list is currently filtered to only show the spells you have the magic level for. You can change this in the filter menu. Let me just down here. Show. Okay, yeah, cool. Talk to the instructor to continue. Currently, you can only cast one offensive spell called Wind Strike. Let's try it out on some of those chickens. So, Garuva gives you some air runes and mind runes. You now have some runes. All spells require runes to cast them. Look for the Wind Strike spell in your magic interface. Click on the spell to select it and then click on the chicken to cast it. Talk to the instructor if you need more runes. Okay, so this is Wind Strike and it says we need one of... It's like one Earth rune and one Wind rune. What are they called again? Air rune and Mind rune. So this means we would have 5 casts of it. So I click this ability and then click on the chicken. And then I think it's going to consume one of them. It is. We use it again. You've already done that. Perhaps you should move on. Oh, okay. I wanted to kill the chicken. Go to the mainland. You're nearly finished with the tutorial. All you need to do now is move to the mainland. Just speak with the magic instructor and he'll teleport you to Lumbridge. Well, you're all finished here now. I will give you a reasonable number of runes when you leave. You want to go to the mainland? Yes. Were you planning to become an Ironman, by the way? Ah, so they're making sure you're reminded that you need to select it here, because otherwise you will not be able to do so. No, I'm not planning to do that. When you get to the mainland, you will find yourself in the town of Lumbridge. If you want some ideas on where to go next, talk to my friend Adventurer John. You can't miss him. He's wearing light blue armor with a huge sword. There are also many tutors willing to teach you about the many skills you could learn. When you get to Lumbridge, look out for Adventurer John. He can be found outside of Sheared Ram Pub. Also, he'll have this icon, probably? Maybe? Prepare yourself. Ooh. Hey, EK, come over here. Ah, we're here. Wait, are those yellow dots all players? You look new around here. Welcome to the world of Gillinor. Thanks, it's my first time here and I'm not sure where to start. Well, lucky for you, that's exactly why I am here. I don't recall this guy being there. What are adventurer paths? A long time ago, I was a newbie just like you who didn't know what to do, and I would be more than happy to pass on my experience. I've created some adventure paths which I recommend you start off with. An adventure path is a list of tasks which you can complete in any order. To help you get started on your adventure path, I'll also give you a starter kit with some useful items. Once you've completed an adventure path, come back to me and I'll give you a reward. Start by opening your quest panel and then selecting the flashing yellow star. Okay, so there's a character summary. Total experience, all those kind of things. Time played. Are you sure you want to display your time played? Yes. Cool. I like how you can see it down there. I like how the chat's down here as well. Oh, guys, I haven't seen this chat in so long. Then there's a regular quest list. I like how it says 0 out of 170 completed and quest points. So I guess some quests give you more points than other quests. It also tells you like the release year and stuff and the length of the quest. The difficulty, requirements, recommendations. Yeah, it's a good system, I think. There's achievement diaries, which I don't know exactly what it is, but sure, we'll look into that later. And adventure paths. So set a path and task in focus to see the task name here. So click here to see all adventure paths. Combat path and gatherer path. You know, I kind of want to focus on the gathering stuff. I really enjoy that part of this game. So gatherer path. Getting started with fishing. Reach level 5 in the fishing skill. You can find the fishing spot by looking at the minimap and the world map with the icon fishing thing. You can get a fishing net from the fishing tutor south of Lumbridge Graveyard. Alright. Show path reward. This is a lamp that will grant 150 experience in either woodcutting, fishing or mining. Once the lamp has been used, you will not be able to claim another. And I can click on it and it like displays in the chat as well. For me at least. Do we talk to him again? So, what are adventure paths? Do you have any starter kits for me? Let's look at that. Adventurer John gives you a combat path starter kit. Here are all your starter kits. Let's claim my rewards. I have no rewards to give you at the moment. Okay. So what are adventure paths? Is it this what? Yeah, this is what we just read before, which is kind of what I expected. And I'm just gonna quickly go through all this stuff. Can you show me some adventure paths? Of course, here you go. Oh yeah, now we have these paths. So there's gonna be combat paths, getting started with attack, getting a grip on it. Oh, is this members? Oh, members get 500. Ooh, okay, so there is a reason as to why I would want to go members very early on, I guess, because members get more rewards. And I'm assuming I can't repeat it, so that means that once I complete a quest without being a member, I lose the reward. I don't know if it's a big reward, but that is a thing. Anyway, guys, I kept it just within the hour, so thank you so much for watching. Like with all of these series, any advice you can give me is 100% welcome, whether it's in terms of gameplay, in terms of presentation, in terms of what I should do, what I shouldn't do, mods I should install, what I should have for dinner tonight. All those things you can just tell me, and you know, I will take inspiration from whatever I can get. So thank you so much for watching. I'll be back for part 2 soon, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye bye.